Let's talk about Superman, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult, written and directed by James Gunn for DC Studios and Warner Brothers Pictures. As always, this review will be spoiler-free, but if you prefer to see the film in its entirety before hearing any commentary, please feel free to close this video out, drop a like before you do, then come on back and watch once you've seen the film. Let's start with what's good about Superman, and that is the casting. James Gunn and his casting team absolutely nailed it with their selections to bring these characters to life. David Corenswet is utterly convincing in his earnestness and his authenticity as Superman, as the Man of Steel, and his alter ego, Clark Kent. Rachel Brosnahan is a wonderful Lois Lane, a complex Lois Lane, a Lois Lane for the modern era. Nicholas Hoult is drawing from a bunch of different Lex Luthor depictions to bring his to life, and what we get is a truly despicable villain. He does a phenomenal job. Also, big props to Gathegi, the actor bringing Mr. Terrific to life. It's a character that, unless you're a hardcore comic book reader, a big JSA fan, maybe you're not familiar with this character. He hasn't been on the big screen before, and he owns every scene that he is in with his combination of deadpan delivery, but the occasional emotional outburst. So what are my issues with the film? One of them is with structure. The first act in particular feels a bit disjointed, right? The audience experience for this, and I think it's intentional, is to give the audience the feeling of picking up a Superman comic book for the first time. And you get some exposition at the start to kind of tell you the story so far. And then you get your character introductions, and they're all so rapid fire that you don't get a whole lot of opportunities to grow attachment to these characters before the peril begins. The other big issue here is writing. And I know that's a surprise about a James Gunn film, but Gunn is dealing with different types of characters than the other superhero fare we've seen him do. That would be Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are misfit characters. They're fringe characters. There's a lot of snark there. There's a lot of, bitterness and rough edges. These are different characters, and I think he has a difficult time trying to nail down how he wants them to sound and interact with one another, and ultimately the tone that he wants this film to have. And it's impossible to ignore the shadow that the last iteration of Superman, Henry Cavill and the Man of Steel films from the Snyderverse, cast upon this. This movie almost feels like an overcorrection, whereas the Man of Steel, BVS, Batman v Superman, Justice League, all those felt very laden, very heavy with emotion, shouldering so much just weight. This is the swing of the pendulum too far to the other direction. It feels a little too light, a little too shallow, and you don't have the emotional weight to really make you care about what's happening beyond it being just a colorful cartoon superhero movie. That said, is it a bad film? No, by no means no. It is fun, it is colorful, it moves, it's only 2 hours and 9 minutes, so it's not overly long. And there's a lot of fun to be had, okay? You've seen Crypto in all the ads. That's terrific. And speaking of Mr. Terrific, I mentioned his performance earlier. Great casting, great chemistry between your cast. Just some issues in terms of structure and execution of the film. Go see it. Make up your own mind. Watch it in a premium format if you can. It will make the difference. Superman is rated PG-13 for some scenes of violence and peril, at superhero action in particular. It opens July 11th. You can find more Film Buff Unplugged reviews and videos on Substack. Just head to fbunplugged.substack.com and subscribe for free. That way you won't miss a single post. We also have a channel on YouTube. Head to youtube.com/@FilmBuffUnplugged, all one word. Please give us a like on Facebook, and if you're on TikTok, you can find my review videos and more by searching for @FelixAlbuerne Jr., all one word. Thanks for watching.